Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Seats, please. We will start. Today, I've got 9 things on my list, but you're not going to get 9 things up. However, you're going to get a choice of which of the 9 you want. You have a choice of which of the 9 you want. I think we might have time for 3. So 6 things we will not learn now. We'll do 3 in terms of persuasion. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
It's correct to say yes, but actually some of you are thinking, hey, 3 only. We'll start. We'll try 3. We'll see how far we get. Okay.
No GST, man.
Okay. No GST. Okay, 4 then. Right. Can I just ask you if you are completely satisfied with where you are in life and you don't want any more than what you have already? Anybody in that position? I take that as a no. Anyone in the opposite position where, okay, life is whatever it is, but you want more? Anyone in this position?
One more.
Okay, so the question is, how are you going to get it now? This is the question, right? You want more, right? The question is, how are you going to get it? Actually, there's another question before you answer the question, how are you going to get it? And that is, what is it that you want? Okay, my job here today is not to go through what is it that you want, because, you know, she wants something different than he does, right? We all want something different, apart from no GST and okay, apart from the money thing, we all want something. We all want to add something different to each other, which is great. Okay, so I'm not going to go through that part, but I'm going to ask you, and this is going to be the theme for today, is how are you going to get there now? How? Because if you really believe you can get there, whatever that there is, then you must know how. Okay, you can stumble your way through it, which is maybe, okay, maybe young people, you do not have the structure yet, or the clues yet. No one has told you, or whatever, okay? Maybe. Some of us older ones are also a bit clueless. Why? Because too many responsibilities already. So we've kind of lost the plan, right? Lost the dream. But the question today is going to be how. And I'm going to suggest that this how is this is a magic spell that you want, you know. Because, you know, if you had a magic spell to change whatever it is that you want to change, you know, to increase whatever you want to increase, you'd use it, right? If you had it. If you had it, you'd use it. So today, we're going to talk about some of those ingredients. In particular, the ingredient of persuasion. There are many ingredients to the magic spell. In fact, I would say there's no such thing as a magic spell, okay? But if you want to talk about what plan you need, there are ingredients to this. There are ingredients to this. You follow me so far? Okay, there are ingredients. Today we talk about persuasion. To what degree is persuasion part of this magic spell? How many would go with persuasion is at least 10%? 10% of the plan now. At least 10%. 10% or more. You might think it's 90, you know, which means you must put up your hand now. Okay? Okay. How about 30% or more of whatever plan it is, persuasion? The skill of persuasion. The skill, I'm going to use the word the skill, okay? You know why I'm using the word the skill? It means Tom, Dick, and Harry can learn the skill. Okay? That's what it means, okay? 50% or more in life is persuasion. If you want to get things in life, 50% or more is persuasion. You people in sales, is it? Some of you? Some of you accountants, forget you lot. You don't have to persuade anybody anything. You just criticize people because they got the thing wrong. Right? But those of you in sales, you have to learn persuasion, otherwise bread does not go on the table now. Wife and children don't eat. True or not? Okay? So you accountants, you have some respect for people who try to sell, okay? No, because they're putting it out there. How many of you would go as far as to say 80% of what you get in life is dependent on your ability to persuade? No? 80% or more. Wow, some of you really put all your eggs in one basket. How many eggs you have? No. Okay, you know, I'm with you. I totally get that. You might even go as far as to say persuasion is everything. Everything. Which is funny, because if I were to ask you now, and I'm going to ask you now, in what ways do you use persuasion every day? You'll be scratching your head thinking, and yet persuasion is 80% or more. But we don't know how we don't know when or how we use it. So I'm going to ask you now, to identify one area of your life, maybe a specific example as well, where you use persuasion, and persuasion is 80% of the job done. And if you had one area, one maybe even one example, okay? So please work with someone. Today we're gonna work with each other. So find someone that you love and trust. Okay, just trust is enough, or someone that you like to sit close to. And this can be like a partner. If there's three of you, three is fine. But I want you to talk to each other and discuss and eventually come to, after about 30 seconds, come to some kind of answer to the question, what do I use persuasion for? It doesn't have to be the answer for everything. But just find one thing in your life, in your day-to-day life, that you use persuasion for. Or that you want to use persuasion for, if you had that magic spell, okay? Okay, so talk to someone now. I'll give you a minute, so 30 seconds each. And just tell them what you think you would like to use persuasion for, or that you do use persuasion for in your daily life. Okay? 30 seconds. Sorry, 1 minute. What do you use persuasion for? What would you like to use persuasion for? Do you use it when you talk with your friends? Do you use it when you tell your stories? Do you use it in your job? Do you have to persuade the boss on the proposal? Do you have to persuade the client to buy your product or service? What do you use it for? Do you have to persuade the wife? Do you have to persuade the kids? Do you have to persuade the police officer when you drive too fast? Right, give the other person a chance to talk as well. Okay, give your partner a high 10 and say thank you. Give them a high 10, high 5, high 10. Touch somebody, say thank you. And give them another high 10 and this time say, you are very talented. Okay, so I know some of you, how many of you would like some magic words and phrases in this session today to persuade people? You like some magic words or phrases?
Yeah.
Okay, well I just gave you one. You are very talented is a good one. Okay. I want to hear what you have said now, but I'm going to say something before that. And that is, persuasion isn't about a magic word or a magic phrase. I don't know of any magic words or phrases, all right? Why? Because persuasion is a process. There are stages to the process. This is what we're going to discuss today now. There are stages to the process. If you are doing stage 2 before you do stage 1, you're out. Out! I will give you an example of how, dating. First date, you show up, guys, talk about guys. Girls do what they like, never mind. Guys have to follow a structure. First date, you show up and you list down all the rational reasons why you will be functional and good as a husband. Okay? See what the girl said? She has just questioned your skipping of phase 1. You've moved on to phase beyond 1 now. But you've missed phase 1. Persuasion is like that. We skip phase 1. I tell you the benefits of my product and service. We skip phase 1 now. We go straight to features and benefits. Bodoh, no? Why? Because you're out. You're out. You show up on a date and do that, you're out. Okay, out of 100, one of you might get the girl out. But that's not the most clever strategy, you know. So we can talk about what is a clever strategy. Would you like to talk about what is a clever strategy?
Yes.
Okay. Would you also like me to talk about what is unpersuasive? What kills persuasion? Would you like to know the top 3 things that kill persuasion?
Yes.
Okay. So I already mentioned 1. Let's say that's the bonus lah. Don't do stage 2 before you do stage 1. We'll talk about what those stages are. But get the order correct now. Then we'll talk about 3 things that kill persuasion every time. And I'll talk about it in terms of, you know, when you get up and deliver a presentation. I'll say presentation because in Toastmasters we talk about speeches. Others will teach you how to do a speech lah. But in work we do presentations for the most part. Client law, committee law, boss law, we do presentation, okay? So I'll talk about in terms of presentation. So the 3 things, just to get your agreement, would you like to learn the biggest 3 killers of persuasion that we do all the time, that we don't know, but we're doing, Would you like to learn those things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to do them again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guarantee you will do them many times after I say it, no. It's not your fault, but it's just because those 3 killers are in our blood now. Almost cannot be separated. Almost. Hopefully today we can start to separate now. And move on and move faster. Okay. Do that. We'll also talk about what is persuasive. You like that as well, right? What is persuasive? And how do you structure those stages so that you can move someone from A to B to C, and C being the end of the persuasion. Okay? Now, let me tell you what persuasion is and isn't very quickly, okay? Forget about definitions from the dictionary. Persuasion is a process, okay? It is not a one-time deal, no. So when you're up here, where I am standing now, and you deliver a 1 hour or 7 minutes or whatever it is, guess what? Or let's say you're a teacher and you're up there, you have a class. What is the biggest threat to teaching is what now? Okay, apart from IQ, the biggest threat to teaching is attention spans. This is the biggest threat to teaching. The biggest threat to our education system is attention spans. And the inability to deal with short attention spans. Fair enough? Does that make sense? Because if you haven't got people's attention, or if you haven't got your class's attention, you're not teaching anything. You're just shouting them down. Which is what happens in most classrooms. At least when I'm a different generation to some of you. They just shout at you, to keep you quiet. I got a nickname in school when I was in Form 1, Peacock. The teacher gave nicknames to everybody to shout us down. She would shout, Peacock, shut up! And this kind of thing. Who do you think your father is? I knew who my father was. But she still had that question, Who you think your grandfather owns owns the school, that kind of thing. So they would shout you down. And so kids talk in class. And they talk because talking is more interesting than the lesson. True or not? So you do what's more interesting now. That's what kids do. They do what's more interesting. Okay, so your job up the front here, sometimes is to educate. Sometimes. True or not? To deliver information that somehow changes people because whatever, it has value. That's your job. So if you don't have people's attention, how is that going to happen, right? So persuasion can even be what you say next to capture people's attention for what you're going to say, for what you're going to deliver. And just because I capture your attention in this moment, it doesn't mean in half an hour I have your attention. No, true or not? Because attention spans. It's down to 20 seconds or less, So every 20 seconds, you have to persuade. Persuade your audience to continue to listen to the next bit that you're going to say. And then, after 20 seconds, persuade them to listen to the next bit. It's really hard, if you think about it that way. but it's a skill. And if you learn the skill, you know, if you can play the piano, then any piano song you can play on. It's not hard. Of course, the practice is hard, right? The practice is hard. But when your friends come around, play, it's not hard, no? Okay, it's a skill. You want to learn the skill now?
Yes.
Okay, now after 1 hour, you all will have no skill, no, but you will have an understanding of what you are up against, okay? I'll just be straight with you. After 1 hour here, it's not that you will have the skill, but at least you'll know stuff, and you'll know what you're up against, and you'll know what your job is when you're standing up here. Because regardless of what your topic is, you have only one job when you stand and deliver a speech, you know. When I say speech, I mean any kind of public presentation. Your one job, you know, regardless of what it is. Do you know what that job is now? What do you think it is? To persuade. To persuade people to take on what you're saying somehow. Doesn't mean they have to change their life, okay? Just because you stand up here doesn't mean you're going to change people's lives, okay? But your job here is to persuade. And like I said, the persuasion could be as something as simple as trying to persuade them to listen to what you're about to say in the next 20 seconds. Would you like to know how that is done? How to do these micro persuasions so that when you deliver, people are always with you. The whole time, you know. Not like at the beginning and then they have handphone time for 7 minutes and at the end they clap for you. No. Okay? Which probably does happen sometimes, okay? So every 20 seconds or so, you need to persuade them, and would you like to know how that's done? Yes. Okay, you'd like to know. Right, so I'm trying to keep these things in mind so that in this 1 hour, you get what you want, okay? Right, now let me hear a little bit of what you have discussed. So who would like to start and say how you use persuasion at the moment? You know, who'd like to start? Anybody, it's fine. We can start at the back, but the back not paying attention, never mind. You see, that's how you get the back's attention. Huh? Okay, take note of all these small things. Okay, so Mike's going to start. Mike.
Yes, this morning,
yes,
I had to persuade my wife to prepare dinner while I'm here. And when I go home tonight, there will be a home-cooked dinner.
Okay, okay. Was that conscious persuasion that it was difficult or what?
Yes, it was a little bit difficult.
Okay, because it's a Sunday, right? Yeah.
Sunday is supposed to be her day of rest, and she has to prepare dinner for 4.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Very practical application of persuasion. Okay, very nice. Thank you. Who else? I'd like to hear from all over. Yes, Vivian.
Yeah, persuade my husband to take care of baby for
Wait.
2 days.
He persuade the wife, you persuade the husband. Why don't you all get together and sort it out? Okay, sorry.
I persuade him to take care of my baby for these 2 days because
That's
I need
right.
to be here
That's right.
for 2 days now.
That's right. Very practical. Let's give them both a hand. So, do you have a persuasion strategy? And does it involve body language, husband?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah. You know, the magic spell has many ingredients. Body language clearly is one of them. So, Mike, you try it next time. Darling, I'm hungry. So, it's different for everybody, isn't it? The magic spell, the magic recipe is different for everybody. I want you to pick up on things as we go along, because I may not stop and say, this is it, this is it, this is it. You pick up on things that make sense to you. Okay? Okay, very nice. Who else? Let's bring it forward. The back has spoken. Thank you, back. the semi-back is here, no? Semi-back. And then this one, never back, is here. No? you all thought your front, is it? All along, you are the not back at all. Semi-back, yes. Deepa has just walked in, but yes, persuasion, how is it used? How do you use it?
I use it to persuade my audience to join my course, especially for work and organic farming.
What course is it?
It's basically to support organic farming.
Okay. So this is a health-related issue, as in, I imagine, just from what she said, it's not like she's telling you about your health. No. She's trying to convince government bodies and things. Yes. to move towards organic farming. So this will affect everyone's health. Yeah. So now she has an extra ingredient of what to say, to an audience that is not her target audience. Okay, so that's one. Thank you. Very nice. Wow. How about this side? Okay.
This morning.
Hey, your name again now?
Chen Hong.
Chen Hong, yes. Okay.
This morning, I persuaded myself to wake up from the cozy bed. My face up, wake up. I do it today.
Okay. Chen Hong, if you are slapping yourself, are you already awake? Hello. It must have been your bed partner that was slapping you. So thank you for revealing this information. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so that's another thing, right? When you're up here, you can tease your audience a little bit. It's good. It's fine. It gets people's attention, and Chung Hong feels good because whether he's a hero or not, we don't know lah. But he appears to be one lah. and girls, if you want to persuade men, you tell them how much of a hero they are. I'm sorry, guys, I told the secret already. So girls, you can say, wow, you're so brave. The man will be attracted to you. Even if he wasn't, he will think about you for a whole 7 days, I'm telling you now. After that, I don't know. Seriously. You tell him how manly he is. Don't say those words lah, but courage lah, brave, all these things. This is what flicks on the switch for men. So girls, guys, don't do this to girls. Hey, you're so brave. She'll look at you and go, okay, well, I'll look for a braver guy then. So the magic spell has different ingredients for different people or even different genders. Okay, so you pick up on what you think will work for you. Thank you. Nice example. Okay, hey, this table, thinking that they're front, but actually they're not even the back. Okay, what's yours? Okay, you. What's your name?
Yeah, hi, I'm Mason.
Okay.
I'm the vice president manager of my
Okay, so you posted
Sorry?
Did you post all the
What?
posters for this event? No, there's somebody else there.
Yes.
Never mind, just say yes.
Yes,
Okay, your example.
Yeah, because I'm the vice president of my club, so
Yes.
I need to use the persuasive skill to transform the guest member.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah,
understand their needs.
this is a sales thing we're talking about, essentially, because there's an exchange of money, and it's not small, true, people have to pay money. Oh, in Calix, I don't know lah, but let's say a Toastmasters club, what is it, $400 a year or something like that? Yeah, maybe whatever.
Yeah.
It's money, it's real money. So would the skill of persuasion be really useful if you had it?
I need help. You also need
Okay.
to understand.
Do you use
their
body
needs.
language to persuade? Okay. Oh, you can. You could. You see lah how you do a test. Who wants to join? Mike, don't try this, please, Mike. The recipe is different for her. Who wants to join? Yeah, I'm only kidding about body language. Body language: stand up straight, put your chest out, and don't move too much. That's body language. Okay, pretty much. Anyone else from the front? One more. Yes, Chi Wei. Okay, Chi Wei.
Actually, yesterday I just persuade one of our speaker to come to my club as external guest.
Very good. Okay. How did you do that? Do you know?
Very simple. I say my timing device is the best out, the best technology after all. So he said, "Well, very interesting. Want to come to visit my club?"
Your timing device. Oh, okay.
Time machine.
So he's done a few things right, We can all learn from him, He doesn't know he's teaching now, but I'm going to tell you what he's just taught us now. He's taught us to understand who your audience is and speak to their needs or their desires. Your friend is a geek, is it? Tech geek. Your friend likes tech, is it?
Yeah.
So your friend likes tech. My timing device are very whole one. You come and see, he came on. That's a very simple example. But why would he talk about anything that his friend is not interested in? Why would he? But do we often try to persuade by giving a list of all the features and benefits without even considering whether or not that person, whether it applies to that person? We do all the time. Do salespeople do that to you sometimes? Yeah, they do all the time. They do all the time. It's like a machine gun. Wow, all die. I'm the hero. That's whereas he didn't do, one bullet enough, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm coming. Efficient. Not only that, his friend knows that it's for him, whatever he's coming for, he understands why he's coming. Because sometimes you ask people, why did you come? They will give all kinds of general answers, but they really don't know. No. Some people even say, to improve my English, whatever. Actually, you give a speech, you're not improving your English. No. You memorize your speech. So you improve your English, that's not improving anything, apart from your ability to memorize. You want to improve your English? Speak it to other people, and they speak to you. That's how you improve. Conversation, that's how you improve. Really. I throw you in an English-speaking place where you can't speak any of whatever dialect that you normally speak. Your English, you come back in 3 months, you'll speak not only will you have a better vocab, your accent would have changed also. And your mother will go, what the hell are you? Slap you. You Hokkien boy, talk like that. When I speak to my sisters who live in the Western countries, who live in California, when I speak to them on the phone, the three of them sound the same. Now, they don't sound the same, no, but the accent sounds the same. So I'm not sure which sister I'm talking to. Until I clarify, is it? Okay. Number one, number two, and number three. Because they've adopted that as part of the way they speak, because they speak it to everyone. So if you want to improve your English and speak to people in English, giving a speech is not. So if you're selling to people, tell them that. Why? Because it's persuasive. It's persuasive when you tell people, okay, here's one secret. It's persuasive when you tell people why not to do something. Why not to do something? Don't come to Toastmasters to improve your English. No, you come to learn how to deliver a speech. You come to learn how to take the stage in a way that most people cannot take it. So what I've just said is what you don't come for, but it allowed me also to say what you do come for. And what that does is psychological, okay? It's psychological. It's psychologically persuasive. In other words, people start to trust you. Because I'm not just giving, you come because it's very good. I tell them straight. I'm saying you can tell them straight. Hey, don't come for this reason, lah. I mean, yeah, of course you can socialize. Of course. But don't come for that reason. I tell you why you come, lah. You want to self-develop, lah. Right, this is why you come. No other reason, lah. And you decide whether it's worth 400 a year. Suddenly people, they won't just sign up because you said that, because persuasion is a process. So what you need at the front of the room is people who deliver stuff that's valuable to the audience. So when combined with what you just said, and then they sit there and they go, wow, this is good, huh? You get people signing up. Huh? That's your marketing plan. Huh? Deliver value, people delivering value from the front. And then at the back, you tell people why. They said, don't sign up because it's a social environment. Yes, it's social, yes, but that's not why you sign up. Don't sign up because you improve your English. You can, yes, of course your English will improve a bit, but that's not why people sign up. People sign up because today they are here, next year they want to be here, that's why they sign up. Okay, maybe you use, today they are here, next year they want to be here. You don't use that, you use that. Persuasive. And then you keep quiet. You keep quiet. That's persuasive. Okay. Persuasive in the way, please, persuasive doesn't mean you close the sale. Persuasive means they get closer and closer and closer to the point where they decide to close the sale or not. You understand what I mean? In other words, do they have a complete freedom of choice? Yes. If you're in a situation, have you ever been in a situation where a salesperson eliminated your freedoms to choose, and funnel you into a corner where you had to say yes. Or lose a friend. Ada, right?
A lot.
A lot! Don't introduce me to them, please. I've already gone through friends that are like that. I myself have been there. I've been through the training that taught you to do that. To get yes, 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 bam, buy the thing. Okay lah, I have to because I've already, I'm in a corner now. I've been through training that taught me exactly how that's done. So I know what not to do now. So I thought for myself, okay, this one is manipulative. I don't do this one. So always give them the freedom to choose, especially women now. Women now. Do you know what women want now? Guys, you know what women want? Pretty much. I would use the word everything. Women want everything. But actually, Will is right now. Everything doesn't mean they want everything now. What it means is they want the freedom to choose whatever they want, That's what they want, which is freedom now, which is everything as well. Could be everything, right? You do not want to be restricted as a woman. You don't want to be. Why am I talking about women? This is my understanding of things now. They don't want to be restricted now. You restrict them, they will fight you. So guys, take a clue. Women must always be given the freedom to have what they want. Doesn't mean they will get it. They must feel that they have that freedom from you, Okay? In other words, well, of course, in life we must have boundaries, okay? But in other words, expand your boundaries so that you allow the other person, whether it's a woman or whether it's your client or prospect or whatever, you allow them the freedom to say no to what you are suggesting. You see what I'm saying? Do you follow me or not? Yes. The freedom to say no to what you're suggesting now. If they don't feel that, if they feel that they are forced to say yes, you're out. Yeah, you're out. They buy also, you'll lose them as a friend now. Okay? They must have the freedom to say no to what you're suggesting. That doesn't mean you surrender before you start now. What it means you have to be smart about what you say. You have to be smart about the framing. The framing, the focus. The framing is the focus, what you focus people on now. You want to go on a trip to Spain this year with your friend. Okay? Of course, your friend will, you say, hey, Eddie, let's go to Spain this year. And of course, Eddie will come up with objections. Why? What objections would Eddie say about Spain? It's far, right? It's expensive. I have to take leave. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You don't give up, no? You frame. This is persuasion. You decide what you say next. You decide what you want Eddie to focus on. You might say, Eddie, this year, we must have an adventure. I'm thinking Spain. It doesn't have to be Spain, but I'm thinking Spain. So now Eddie is like, oh, why are you thinking Spain? When Eddie asks why you thinking Spain, you tell why not? Yeah, because this. Not only that, and then, not only that, Eddie, not only do you frame it as an adventure, right? Because it will be. Well, you must make it one, you don't just say it, right? You must make it one, right? But you can also frame the alternative. So now Eddie has a choice. Oh, he can also choose the third option, which is, no to everything. That's fine. He must allow it, but you framed it. In other words, you focus him on the adventure, then you focus him on the opposite of that, no? And say, okay, Eddie, you know what? If we don't go, if we go, we'll have an adventure, okay? We need one. This year, one adventure. If we don't go, we will stay here and watch the same TV programs, and we will not eat any food that's different, and our lives will be exactly the same as it was if we don't go. So you choose which one you want. So now Eddie's like, yeah, true. Now I'm not saying this is a script you use now. I'm not saying it's a script. I'm telling you that I'm giving you an example of how you can frame something so that your friend is relieved of the burden of having to pull all the relevant information and make a decision because he's going to find ways to shoot it down that way. You frame it, you frame the good, and you frame the if you don't do it, nothing will happen. Same. Today we are here, next year also we are here, no? And you can get emotional about it, you can say, and I don't want that for my life, Eddie. I mean, if it's true. If that's true, say it. It's fine. I don't want that for my life. I want to do something. I want to see what it's like on the other side of the world. Now, Eddie may not appeal to him, but you know your friend, right? You know what appeals to him. So he's framed it. So what is my point? He's framed it. He says, hey, this one, the tech is good, like you must have a look. What time is it now? Almost 10, yes.
Maybe I have a question.
Yes.
I'm just throwing this idea because the more I convince people, the more I see that sometimes telling the positive aspect of taking the decision doesn't work. But the fear of not taking the action works. Like for example, organic farming. If I say, oh, these are the benefits of organic farming, sometimes governments don't bother. But if I say, oh, France is taking the lead and are y'all now with France? Or then they feel like, oh, I'm not with France, so I'm like left behind.
Yeah. Yes. So she's appealing to, and we'll talk about the psychology law. She's appealing to our need for status, not for our status not to drop. France is doing it, so in that sense, got status. So we also must do now. There's that. Now, this is not the end of the persuasion. It is part of the mix. Okay? Now, don't use what's this? Part of the mix can be a little bit of framing the negative or highlighting what they lose if they don't. Sometimes there's a little bit of guilt involved. Be a little bit careful when it comes to too much. You want to salt, you want to spice the thing, you don't want to be eating spice and salt. Okay? So it's a touch. You're a persuader, You're allowed to, influence the dish. You're allowed to do that. And it's part of the larger mix. It is not the be-all and end-all, right? Because there's way more than just saying those words, not magic words. So that's, when you understand how human beings think and if you understand how human beings think, you will absolutely know what they will do next, You absolutely what they do next. So if you understand persuasion, you can persuade, you will know what will happen next based on what you have just said, Is that powerful? Based on what you just said, you will know what happened next. Would you like me to prove this? I can't prove anything, but you prove God exists to me, and then I'll believe you. But okay, I can illustrate it. Okay, you all have these printed sheets, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if you've read. How many of you have read though? Is this printed or your own notes?
Own notes.
Oh, your own notes. Oh, okay. Okay. Was there anything handed out that was printed? How many of you have read the whole thing?
Nothing printed.
Oh, nothing printed. Nothing to read. Okay. So let's say that I hand out an envelope to everyone. Each one gets an envelope. Envelope is sealed. And I give you an instruction. And I'm trying to illustrate to you now that what you say can have absolutely predictable results. I know what you're going to do next, For the general population, 99% or 80% or whatever. I know what you're going to do next. Why? Because I understand human psychology. And if you do as well, you can do the same thing. So I hand out envelopes to everyone, put it on your table, so that when you come in and sit down for the session, there's an envelope sealed in front of you with the instruction, do not open until told to. And at the front, before I do my thing, I'll say, do not open it until I tell you to. Okay? Now, my prediction is that you all will follow this instruction. But my prediction after that is when I tell you to open it, you will. How many of you will not open that envelope? You all will open the envelope, right? What if I told you, to make it even more persuasive, even more predictable, I said, do not open until instructed to. The contents of this envelope will be what you learn today. So what you learn today is already printed in the envelope. The 3 things you'll learn today are printed in this envelope. When I say open, all of you will rip the damn envelope. I will not be able to reuse these envelopes now. You rip it open, bam, take out the card and see what's on it. whatever I say while you're reading that means nothing because you're reading this. You so want to know what was in that envelope. So if you understand how to persuade, you can predict what happens next. Just like I know exactly the effect of putting an envelope will have in front of you and seal it and say don't open until I tell you. Exam is like that one. You know, you look at the time. Okay, turn over your. So they turn over and start. And what happens in the moments when you have the envelope or the exam paper and you don't have access to it, you can't turn it or open it? What feelings do you get? Got feeling or not? Yes, got feeling. Got feeling. What feeling is it? Agitation. Yes, you're agitated. You're curious. They're not warm, comfortable feelings, right? They're uncomfortable feelings. Uncomfortable feelings. Would any of you be intrigued by the mystery of it all? Yes. This is what you want to go for. The word is intrigue. Intrigue. The number one, the number one of the three things to persuade her. It happens to be phase number one as well. The first thing you do is you intrigue them. Give them half the story, not the full thing yet. But you tell them what's coming up now. Examples of intrigue in a speech. Very simple example. Today I'm going to tell you the three ways that people persuade. Okay? So, what happens? I know that pretty much all of you now want to know what those three ways are. Is that right? Yes. So I have correctly predicted what is going on in your head given that I stimulate you with these words. You understand what I'm saying? You can control that. You have that much control. It doesn't mean you manipulate people. It just simply means you plant the seed and you pretty much know, based on human psychology, what is going through their mind next. So I'm going to go through those three ways that you will need to know to persuade. Okay? So have I told you the three ways yet? No. Which means there's still mystery, right? This is what I mean by intrigue. When you say, I can tell you the three ways where you can fix your car and nothing will ever go wrong again. That's intrigue. You've not told them what the three ways are. You simply told them that there are three ways, that you know what those three ways are, and in a moment, you will tell them. And at that moment, they have emotion. And that emotion linked to you, Guys, when you go dating, you want that moment where the emotion is, and it links to you. And then she date other guys with no emotion one. And she call you. You want that. It's called attraction. That's what it's called. You must, stage one, you have to attract. How do you attract? Intrigue. There's many ways. I'm suggesting intrigue as the simplest and very effective way to do it. Attract. So don't show up to the first date with all the ways you will be functional and useful in a marriage. No. You show up and you intrigue her. You say, wow, you don't know what it's like to be in a relationship with me. Maybe you don't want to know. So what? Maybe I don't want you to know. So now she got emotion. Wow, this fella a challenge you. Not a pushover or a challenge. The emotion linked to you. That's your job done for now. For now. It's a process, right? It's not a one-time thing. It's a process. Intrigue. Girls, you agree or not? Yes. I don't care whether you agree or not, but I'm asking. Yeah, no, this is psychological. And persuasion is psychological. It's not magic spells. But of course we use words. Psychological. So intrigue. What other ways can intrigue? So you can literally intrigue by saying, don't do this. Don't come to Toastmasters to learn, to improve your English. Don't do that. So the question in their mind now is not that, oh, okay, thank you for telling me bye-bye. That's not what's in their mind. What's in their mind is, so why would I come to Toastmasters? If you have someone who's in their mind or in their lips is asking you, tell me why I should come, you're in, You understand? Salespeople, you understand or not? Yeah. Normally you have to convince people why they should come. If you get someone to say, Will, tell me why I need to come to this. Wow, you're in. We'll sit back. I kick back. Well, I don't know if you really need to come. You know, it won't do this, this, and this. It might do this, this, and this, though. That's the persuasion process done now. Then after that, let them make their choice. You know, wow, if you can get someone to ask you, even in their own mind, ask you, be open to tell me why. Wow, you've done your job really well. You understand what you guys follow me or not? You don't. You've done your job. If most people in their mind, if you're trying to sell them something, yes, they're like, they're trying to find ways to object. But if they, in their mind, say, actually, I want you to tell me why. So to get that, you say, hey, you don't come to Toastmasters to improve your English now. So now in their mind, it's like, okay, well, tell me why I should come. This is what you want now. This is what you want. Okay? When they want to know, don't come to improve your English. No, I mean, the people all speak English, but you don't come for that reason. No. Oh, then what reason I come for? This is what you want. No. Then you're in. This persuasion. Okay? All right, so those of you who don't want to know the next two phases, you can stop listening now. I'm going to tell you the next phase now. You see what I'm doing? No one is shutting down and going, okay, I don't. No, if you don't really, there's things to eat. You can have your break early, it's fine. But if you want to know the next phase, you all want to know phase 2 or not? Oh, okay. So this is persuasion. That's what you do. You play the psychological game. Okay, phase 2. What's phase 2? I also cannot remember. You can tease your audience. For Joe, what's phase 2, is it? Okay, yeah, of course. Phase 2 is where you don't have to present, point by point, but you need to understand the value for them in what you're delivering. The value for them, Chi Wei, is it? So he knew that the value for his friend is that his friend would see something, some kind of tech in the application of tech, and that the friend would like that. He knew that. So he presented it that way. Hey, come to the meeting, this one, the timer, damn nice, no. You've never seen anything like it. Come on. So this is also intriguing. Why? He says, you've never seen anything like it. This is intriguing because he's not told him what it's like at all. He just said, you've never seen anything like it. This is intrigue. Can you please come and teach the session? No, seriously. You all understand what I'm talking about, right? Small things like this get you closer and closer to them being open to whatever that you're suggesting. So you come lah. People say you come lah. Now that's not intriguing. That one usually people got resistance. Come lah, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You say come lah. Now people like you never seen anything like it. No. I promise you, never seen anything like it. I also first time I went, never seen anything like it. Now I go all the time. So I've combined personal testimony. I've combined a bit of intrigue. I still have not told them what it's like. But there's a certain confidence when a person can say those things. There's a certain confidence. And is confidence attractive? Yes. Absolutely. Is overconfidence attractive? No. It can be, but people see through it. How long can that last? If you're overconfident or if you oversell, then they show up, and then the meeting is so-so, you're in trouble. So I'm not suggesting that you oversell, but persuade. Persuade. And use negative to persuade is fantastic. Okay. Negative and intrigue is fantastic. So negative intrigue would be the first thing. So the second thing is the value. You must know the value. Before coming here on the drive here, I asked the question out loud, right? What is the value that would be for you guys sitting here today? What value can I bring that would mean something to you? Okay? What value? I want you to discuss with your partner. What do you think are things that can be valuable that you can bring in a speech? What are things that are valuable? You might think, hey, well, I'm not giving money away. I'm not, okay, fine. But you are saying things, you're delivering ideas, you're delivering data, whatever. So you tell each other what you think is valuable that you can deliver when you're up here delivering a speech. Okay, I give you a minute, 30 seconds each. Talk to your friend. What is valuable? Three minutes left.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
You look fantastic.
the ball and chase. Yeah.
Okay, 30 seconds. Okay, I'm sorry, I will have to interrupt you. Give your friend a round of applause. I know that you've not finished, but give them a high 10 and say you are very talented. Okay, so I'm glad you've discussed some of the value. I'll give you an example of value, okay? And there was this one time I was asked to give a talk in a college, a local college, which was not far from where I live. So they asked me to talk about storytelling, which is what my profession has been for 20 years. They asked me to talk about storytelling. And so, okay, fine, I agreed to it. And then on the day, I drove over, 2-minute drive. On the drive over, I realized that, hey, who are these people? I realized that I found out that they were from, first year all the way to third year, graduating year in the course, diploma, whatever course it was. Okay, so there's a range of students there. They're not there because they're in a storytelling club. They're there because they've been told to go, and I think they might have all done a mass communication module or something like that. So storytelling was not something that they had to learn, but they filled the lecture hall. So, but on the way there, I asked myself, actually, if I talk about storytelling, what has that got to do with these people? What has it got to do with my audience? Well, as in, what value will they immediately get from the first 1 or 2 seconds? What will capture them right away? What connection can I really make if I go there and blah, blah, blah about storytelling? So I realized this is a problem. I had 2 minutes to figure it out. By the time I parked the car, I figured it out. So I threw out all the slides, no slides. I had the slides ready for the storytelling one, but I had to change my strategy. No slides. So my strategy went a bit like this. Okay, I entered the room, they introduced me, and then I started, and I asked them a question. When I asked them this particular question, the whole room immediately sat up and wanted to know more. So I knew I had hit the nail on the head. Thank God I had made a decision to switch everything, to change. What I had asked them was, I asked myself, what is it that is valuable to this audience? That goes across all of them. So I opened with a question that went something like this. How many of you are worried about how much you will earn when you leave school? Bam. First year, final year, all they want to know. All worried. How many of you want to know how much you will earn? All want to know. Yeah, I started from there. How many of you want to earn, how many of you want to earn 1,000 or more per month? Okay, all hands still up. Okay, don't put your hand down. By the way, if people put their hand down, it's very hard to get it up again. Yeah. So don't put your hand down. 2,000 or more. Hands still up. 5,000 or more. Some hands went down. Some half still up. 10,000 or more. And I work my way up a little bit. So this is intriguing, right? There's a little bit of mystery. Where am I going with this? And yet, I have them every 10 seconds. I fire off the next level. So they're wondering, at what level do they put their hand down? So they're reflecting. Good. 10,000 or more, 3 hands. 3 guys. Everyone else put their hand down. 3 guys. So I knew that I had to stop. I cannot go on forever. You don't want that nobody put their hands up, right? So I decided to stop it there and said, okay, girls, take note of these 3 guys. These are the most eligible in the room. So from there, I was in, Then I started to tell them the story of how I started with 800 a month and where I worked up to and the psychology that I used to get there. So I finished my talk, went home. I got a call from Gerald Green, the late Gerald Green, I got a call from Paul Sia. Gerald Green was talking when Paul Sia called me. He said, hey, Merva, where are you? Are you in the canteen? I said, no, I left. I'm out for my next thing. He says, oh, because they're asking for you. They want to talk to you. The whole room wanted to talk to me. And yet the father of Toastmasters in Malaysia was talking to them at that time. So how do you get to the point where you become so valuable, as in what you are delivering becomes so valuable? Now this is your job. It's your job. There's no magic words, but you must figure out, what can I say to them that instantly makes my message valuable to them. The value is what they perceive. You must do this. Okay, my time is up. I think my time's up, is it? Okay, my time is up. I have a couple more things which I don't have to go through. I'll just tell you what they were. Make you feel the pain. The third thing for persuasion is not a phase, It is something that needs to hold all of your stuff together. I'll tell you what it is, and you go and think about it now. It's enthusiasm. If you are not enthusiastic, you will not persuade anybody. Now, having said that, you don't have to jump up and down and bounce off the ceiling, okay? Yeah. If you do that, it's over-enthusiastic, just like overconfident, over anything, over salt, over spice, cannot eat, okay? Know how much enthusiasm, the larger the group, the more enthusiastic you can be. Yeah. But also use pauses, so that the enthusiasm becomes real. In other words, they hear the silence, and they hear the contrast of enthusiasm. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. And we didn't get to talk about the things that are unpersuasive. That's too bad. You can talk about, you can just ask me during the break. There are 3 things that are unpersuasive, which I see happen all the time. Anyway, you've been wonderful. And good luck for the rest of the day. I'll be with you for a few minutes during the break, and after that I'm going to take my leave. So thank you, Will and Horst and the organizing committee. I've enjoyed speaking to you, so I hope that you have gotten something from from sitting here for an hour. Okay, well done.